This is The Gist, the essential podcast for the discerning listener.
Welcome to The Gist. I'm John.
And I'm Mary. It is Friday, July 31st, 2026. Let's get you up to speed.
We start with the gist view. New York State is trying to shut down Kalshi. That is a United States-based financial exchange where people place bets on real-world events. Think of it as a stock market, but for everyday realities, like who wins an election or if a dock strike happens.
Attorney General Letitia James and Governor Kathy Hochul are calling it illegal gambling. They are suing to stop the platform and collect heavy fines. A big sticking point, Kalshi allows 18-year-olds to trade. New York's legal gambling age is 21.
Let's look at the power dynamics here. Regulators get to look tough. They win the optics game by claiming they are protecting consumers. But they are fighting a tidal wave. CBS News reports that trading volume on prediction markets like Kalshi and Polymarket exploded recently. It went from under $5 billion in September 2025 to roughly $24 billion by April 2026.
The demand is there. Banning a domestic regulated market doesn't stop the betting. It just acts as a giant subsidy for offshore platforms. The money flows out of transparent United States regulated systems and straight into dark offshore accounts.
Right. It is true that letting people bet on geopolitical crises creates weird incentives. A bad actor could theoretically try to trigger a real-world disaster just to win a bet. But pushing this massive wave of capital into the shadows, that just makes the system more opaque.
Moving to the global overview. The music industry is hitting a wall. Universal Music Group saw its stock plummet 25% today, dropping to €14.88. That erased €9 billion in market value, according to the Financial Times.
The trigger was subscription revenue. It grew by 6.7%, but the market consensus, meaning the growth investors expected, was 9.3%. This isn't about people getting tired of specific artists. This is about structural market saturation. Everyone who wants a streaming subscription already has one.
And the big players are terrified of artificial intelligence. Institutional investors see artificial intelligence threatening the traditional label business model.
The money is flowing out of music rights and into tech. Speaking of tech and money flows, the company that runs the New York Stock Exchange is going shopping. Intercontinental Exchange, or ICE, is buying market access for $6 billion.
Market Access is an electronic trading platform for bonds. That just means government and corporate debt. The Wall Street Journal reports this is an all-cash deal at $167 per share. ICE gets to fold 2,100 large institutional clients into its own fixed income division. It is a classic power grab. They are consolidating control over the digital infrastructure of credit trading.
Let's look at the energy market. Abu Dhabi's state-owned oil producer, ADNOC, is throwing in the towel on a major financial project. They wanted their Murban oil futures to become a global pricing benchmark. A benchmark is just a standard baseline price that other oil is compared against.
The Financial Times says the ongoing Iran war blew that plan up. The conflict exposed deep flaws in the contracts and totally disrupted regional energy flows. ADNOC is now retreating to the safety of established Dubai pricing. When crises hit, capital always flees to familiar ground.
Over to the European perspective, tensions are boiling over in Poland. A suspected Russian cruise missile landed in Polish territory during strikes on Ukraine.
German broadcaster ZDF reports that Prime Minister Donald Tusk summoned the Russian ambassador. This shifts the leverage in Europe. Poland and the Baltic states are now demanding aggressive action. They want NATO to shoot down these missiles in the air, rather than just filing protests after they land.
But intercepting those weapons is risky. It could turn a border accident into a direct active confrontation, and that is exactly what Western leaders want to avoid under Article 5. That is the core NATO treaty rule, stating an armed attack on one member is an attack on all. The incentives right now are trapped between showing strength and avoiding a wider war.
Down in southern Europe, Spain is taking a hard line on migration. Tens of thousands of people crossed into Ceuta in just a matter of days. Ceuta is a tiny Spanish territory that shares a land border with Morocco.
Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez isn't mincing words. He called the sudden influx an attack on territorial integrity. According to ZDF, Spain immediately started deportations. They are treating these sudden border crossings as explicit security breaches.
State resources are moving sharply away from humanitarian processing and directly into rapid geographic containment.
The business newspaper Il Sole 24 Hour reports Tim was systematically and unlawfully using customer data for promotional calls. The regulator is sending a clear financial message. Turning unverified user data into cash is no longer a free ride. It is now an immediate operational liability.
That brings us to today's temperature check. From New York regulators pushing prediction markets offshore to Spain locking down its borders to the music industry choking on artificial intelligence fears, today is all about the old guard desperately trying to box in new realities. Control is a comforting illusion, but it's a very expensive one to maintain. Keep your eyes on where the resources actually flow, not where institutions demand they go.
We'll be back on Monday to make sense of the noise. Until then, have a great weekend.
And before you go, if you found today's breakdown helpful, you should really grab our daily newsletter. It's completely free and gets you up to speed every morning.
Just tap the subscribe link right there in your show notes to join the smart crowd. Thanks for spending part of your day with The Gist.
The Gist, News Digest, and podcast are entirely written and produced by artificial intelligence. The Gist is out 3 times a day, every day, providing you with a liberal perspective on what to expect next. For more information and donations, visit thegist.online. Thank you for listening.